we hear a lot of figures, and I'm seeing a couple of questions coming up here about emissions, carbon emissions, water usage, the land usage used for meat, say, as opposed to grains, the basis of more of a vegetarian diet. And what I find really interesting, and this is something that I've sort of had to get my head around, is that a lot of those figures are completely inaccurate because they're based on overseas situations where the animals are grain-fed, so grain-fed as opposed to pasture-fed. Now, the unique situation in Australia is that most of the beef and lamb in Australia is grown on arid rangelands that can't be used for anything else. And in fact, only 8% of Australia can be used for crops such as grains. So we have predominantly pasture-fed meat in Australia. Just most of the meat we buy is going to be pasture-fed. Is that right?
Absolutely. And if we're not managing that land and looking after it, then it will not be managed at all.
You have no income.
We have no income. We don't have a home for our family. We don't have, the calves I was dealing with yesterday and giving their vaccinations to are my income in 2014-15. So it's a long-term project for us every year. But we couldn't do anything else with that country. You can't plough these soils. They're very fragile. They only grow the native grasses that are there. They won't grow crops and horticulture and fruit and vegetables and things like that. They will only grow some sort of red meat. Yeah. And that's what they're designed for.